Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back. My name is Dee and this is Dee's Bookish Musings, where I'm sharing my love for reading at my own pace. Welcome if you are new here. I do invite you to subscribe down below. I would love to have you here. And if you are returning for another one of my videos, thank you so much. I really do appreciate your continued support. So this is going to be a 2026 beginning of the year book unhaul. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books that I am going to be unhauling. Most of these books, you're not going to be shocked that I'm giving them away, because I'm going to be giving them away to a little free library, somebody who can find enjoyment in these books. But these didn't work for me for one reason or the other. Some of these books, you know, I just have to be realistic. I don't have the space. I'm really not interested anymore, unfortunately. And so they gotta go, okay? They got to go, because actually I am going to be moving. I don't know when I'm gonna be moving, but I'm gonna be moving. And so I don't wanna bring books with me that I didn't really like or am not gonna read again. I only want books on my shelf that I can see myself rereading. I got some enjoyment out of the book and I want them to stick around. And so these books unfortunately did not make the list. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first book is not going to be a surprise, because I talked about this book when I did review this book. This is Let Us Descend by Jesmyn Ward. Let me just say, Jesmyn Ward is a wonderful writer, okay? Wonderful writer. I just did not mesh with this book. And I spoke about why in a review video that I did. I did a author spotlight, or not an author spotlight, but she was one of the authors that I was focusing on, because I wanted to read at least, you know, a few of her books to, you know, check out her writing, because I know she is loved by a lot of people, and for good reason. She's an excellent writer. Excellent literary fiction writer, right? She writes historical fiction, I think, for the most part, or maybe some, I don't consider the 70s historical fiction, but, you know, if you consider the 70s historical fiction, I guess she writes historical literary fiction, things like that. She focuses on the conditions of, like, Black Americans in America, in the South, because that's how she was raised. So that is what piqued my interest in her. And this one just did not mesh with me, you know, because of these ghosts and magical type elements that was going on in this book. It just did not mesh with me, okay? And so I read this book from beginning to the end, but gotta be honest with you, that kind of took me out of the story. Reading about ghosts and that whole thing, just like, yeah. So unfortunately, this one will be going to a little free library or to another home. The next book is gonna be no surprise either. It is Salvage the Bones. I'm not sure if I spoke about this book or included it in the unhaul, but it's still here. I have not unhauled it. So I can't remember. If I did, forgive me, okay? But I have not unhauled it if I did mention this book in a previous unhaul. Salvage the Bones by Jesmyn Ward. I spoke of why I did not like this book either. I like the message. I like the storyline, again, focusing on Black Americans in the South in an impending hurricane, but it also involved harming of animals and things like that, and that just took me out of the story as well. And so I don't want to read this book again, and I wouldn't personally recommend it, but the writing was beautiful as usual. Can't say anything negative about her writing. She definitely can write a book. So that's 2 books that I am giving away by this author. I will read from her again after watching, like, reviews, okay? I don't think I'll blindly go out and buy the book. I want to watch other reviews to see if, you know, I will potentially like the story. Okay, so moving on, we've got this book right here, Family Lore by Elizabeth Acevedo. I read one other book from her. I can't think of it right now, but right here, I read that years ago, loved it. It was a YA, very poetic story about a teenager. I don't remember the whole story anymore because it was such a long time, but her name stuck with me when I saw this in Ollie's, and this was only $4.99. Now, I didn't hear anything about this book, you know what I mean? Like, there was no buzz or anything like that about this book. So I guess a lot of people did not like it. I did hear someone talk about one person I think talk about this book, and they said that they didn't like it either. And so I probably won't like it either, to be honest with you. I know people have different opinions, and reviews are subjective. But since I didn't hear anybody, I have not heard one soul talk except that one person talk about this book, at all. You know, it's going bye-bye. So go bye-bye to another home. Okay, so this next book, The Sweetness of Water by Nathan Harris, $4.99. I heard one other person that I do respect their like opinions and things like that talk about this book, and who reads this type of literature talk about this book, and they didn't really think this was such a good book. And so, I got this for $4.99 at Ollie's as well. It's a good price. I think I'm going to give it away. I think I am, y'all. If I want to read it in the future, I will just go to the library. I'm sure they will have a copy and I'll read it then. But for me, because I can't keep all the books, it is going bye-bye. All right, this next book, I know I said I was going to keep it and read it, and I still might, but I'm still going to show it. This is The Alice Network by Kate Quinn. I've only heard one person say that they liked this book. It was pretty good, and it probably is a good book. But realistically, I haven't been drawn to pick this book up. I know I featured this book in a recent video because it is like historical fiction. What else? It centers women, right? It centers women back in the 40s during World War II. You know what? I never knew what this book was about, but I just read like the first paragraph, and I might just put this in the to keep pile. So it says 1947, in the chaotic aftermath of World War II, American college girl Charlie St. Clair is pregnant, unmarried, and on the verge of being thrown out of her very proper family. She's also nursing a desperate hope that her beloved... Why am I reading like that? Because I can't see. She's also nursing a desperate hope that her beloved cousin Rose, who disappeared in Nazi-occupied France during the war, might still be alive. So when Charlie's parents banish her to Europe to have her little problem taken care of, Charlie breaks free and heads to London, determined to find out what happened to the cousin she loved like a sister. That sounds pretty good, y'all. I never read that. I never read it. I think I'm going to keep this one, okay? It sounds like something I'm going to be interested in. Now, this next book, I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it, okay? Because reviews are subjective, okay? Reviews are subjective. This is going to be an unpopular opinion, but it is what it is. And I'm not by myself, because I have heard other people, at least two people that I watch, say that they didn't really, it was okay. This book was okay. No surprise, right? This is Kennedy Ryan. This could be us. This was my first Kennedy Ryan. And I talked about, my feelings about the book. The writing was good, of two people who were divorced because of something that happened in their marriage that they couldn't recover from initially. It's a second chance romance. However, I feel like the characters were depicted to be a little immature. What was her name? Josiah and Yasmin. Josiah and Yasmin, to me, they came off a little bit immature. Like they really did not know what they wanted. It was a lot of back and forth. I felt like they were also playing games too. Playing games, for somebody to be in their 40s, they were playing a lot of games. And the main reason why I didn't like this book is because I feel like the lust took over whatever they had. I really didn't buy into their love because it was just sex all day long, okay? And it was definitely graphic. It was graphic, which, I don't like open door spice. I just don't personally like open door spice. Now, if the story, I'm meshing with the story, that's fine. If it's open door, not really, but I can tolerate it. But to me, this just didn't work for me. It wasn't a bad story in general, but I just did not like what was going on, how the two characters were dealing with each other. and the sex it was just, to me, lust. I don't know. That's just my opinion, and the other two people said the same thing too that I watched. All right, so it's going bye-bye to another home. I do have the second book. Will I read the second book? I'm not sure. That may be on the list to go bye-bye to in the next Unhaul. Okay, so the next book is Unmissing. This is a thriller by Minka Kent. I just randomly, when I got back into books, I just bought all the books on Amazon, and this one sounded interesting about a couple. They're married, and the wife, she goes missing, right? She goes missing, but then all of a sudden she reappears or something like that. I mean, it sounds good, but I have not once wanted to read this book, not once. So I'm gonna give that away. It probably is a good book, but you know, I can't keep all the books. All right, so the next book is by Sandra Brown. This is called Overkill. I bought this because of the title, Overkill. The premise sounded really good. Former Super Bowl MVP quarterback Zach Bridger hasn't seen his ex-wife Rebecca Pratt for some time, not since their volatile marriage imploded. So he's shocked when he learns that Rebecca has been placed on life support after a violent assault. Despite their divorce, has medical power of attorney. You know what? I'm going through that right now with my parents, medical power of attorney and things like that. So I might keep this book. Zach is asked to make an impossible choice: keep Rebecca on life support or take her off of it. Buckling under the weight of the responsibility, Zach ultimately walks away, letting Rebecca's parents have the final say. 4 years later, Rebecca's attacker, Eben, the scion of a wealthy family in Atlanta, gets an early release from prison. The ludicrous miscarriage of justice reeks of favoritism, and Kate Lennon, a brilliant state prosecutor, is determined to put him back behind bars. Rebecca's parents have kept her alive all these years, but if her condition were to change, if she were to die, Ethan could be retried on a new charge, murder. It isn't lost on Zach that in order for Eben to be charged with Rebecca's murder, Zach must be the one to kill her. He rejects Kate's legal standpoint, but can't resist their ill-timed attraction to each other. What? Sounds like maybe a legal thriller, because a lawyer is involved. Power of attorney, medical power of attorney. It sounds interesting, but I haven't reached one time to pick this up, okay? Or, you know, and yeah. So if I want to read it, I'll get it from the library again. The next book I bought from the thrift store, and let's be real, I'm not going to read it, okay? Like, I thought about reading this book just to give it a chance, but I'm just not, okay? I'm just not. The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith. In this book, I forgot to say the author's name. Did I? It's right on the front, Sandra Brown. Yeah, I'm not gonna read this one. This one's thick, and I only want to give books that are this thick, over 400 pages, a try if I'm really interested in reading the book, and I'm not really interested in reading this book. So it's going back to the thrift store where I got it from. Okay, y'all, so that is it. Those are all the books that I'm going to be unhauling for the first quarter of 2026. I probably will come back, I'll probably do these each quarter because like I said, I am moving. I did get another bookshelf, just a small one, right, to put in my office. But I'm moving and I can't buy any more books. I have no more space, okay, for a book. I think I am gonna keep this one because I said I was interested in it. And when I read a little bit of the synopsis, it sounds really good. So I think I'm going to keep this one and make that a priority. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead right now and put it on my book cart down here. It's not definitely on this top list, okay? Want to read, must read projects, right? It's not here, okay? These are secondary priority within the genres I want to read. These books down here, I think I'm gonna put it down here, okay? And if I'm in the mood for it, I'll pick it up. Hopefully I do, because I really want to see what it's about now that the interest has sparked again for me to read it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have read any of these books. Let me know what you think about me unhauling them with respect, okay? Just, remember everybody's opinion matters here. It doesn't matter if it's a good or bad opinion. Everybody has a right to their thoughts about what they have read, okay? Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care and be blessed.